Okay, here we are in the Barista Guru kitchen, and we're here with Dennis. We're going to find out what are the 4 elements needed to make some good espresso. Dennis, what do we start out with?
Thank you. What you first need is fresh coffee.
Fresh coffee, okay.
Whole bean coffee. Well, you should always start out with whole bean because if you have it ground, there's more surface area, which means, and you know, oxygen is not a friend of coffee, so the shelf life would be pretty much.
So we don't want our coffee to get air in it too much, right?
Right. So
that's why we keep them in these containers.
Keep it in an opaque, airtight container. And that'll keep them fresh for, you know, whatever the bag says pretty much.
So fresh coffee, that's one of the most important things.
Right.
And then you mentioned about the ground size, the size of the grind. Why is that important?
Grind is important because if you imagine water pouring over rocks is how we do it, like pebbles or something. You know, the smaller the rocks, the less water goes through. The bigger the rocks, the more water goes through. You know,
and the finer the grind, the more surface area you have too, right?
Exactly. So
coffee's going to be stronger.
Extremely strong, yes. A lot stronger than...
Okay, so we need fine grind.
Fine grind for espresso because it's going to be pushing through an espresso machine. So.
All right, and then what's the next element that we got to consider?
Next element is the proportion. Proportion is important because too much coffee would make it come out bitter. Too less coffee, there's more water, and that would make it, well, it'd make it still bitter, but watered down and just not good at all. And last would be water freshness.
Okay.
You need to make sure that your water is filtered, free of impurities, just, you know, no minerals, no nothing.
Great, so fresh water. Does it necessarily have to be cold? Sometimes on these coffee machines you read, you know, start out with cold water.
Should be cold water.
Okay.
Yes.
And why is that? I've always wondered, you know, why cold water, why not warm water? What is it? Does it make the machine heat up faster or something and not give enough time for the coffee to actually brew? Or why is that? It's probably the answer, right?
Yes.
All right.
But since, you know, water's pretty much, I guess, what, 97-98%, you know.
Oh yeah.
Of the drink, that's one of the most important parts, really.
Okay, great. So there are the important parts of a fine cup of coffee, and stick around, we'll be making some coffee pretty soon. So thanks a lot for visiting the kitchens